Right now, someone may already be adjusting around you, and you don't even realize it. Most people believe reputation collapses in a dramatic moment, a public mistake, a humiliation everyone can witness, something obvious. But reputation almost never breaks in front of an audience. It erodes quietly. And the most dangerous part is this: you are usually the last person to notice. There's no announcement, no confrontation, no visible shift. People still smile, still nod, still respond, but something changes in the air. Not enough for you to accuse anyone. Just enough for the room to feel lighter. Reputation isn't built on what people say to you. It's built on what they conclude about you when you're not there. And conclusions don't form from events, they form from patterns: the way you react when interrupted, the way you defend yourself when misunderstood, the way you rush to clarify something that wasn't even questioned. You think you're protecting your image. They think they are mapping you. And once someone believes they understand your structure, they stop approaching you with caution. Caution is invisible respect. When people are unsure of you, they move carefully. They measure tone. They calculate consequences. But the moment you become readable, fully readable, something subtle disappears. They relax. And relaxation inside hierarchy is rarely in your favor. It starts small. Someone interrupts you mid-sentence and you correct them. Next week, it happens again. Someone casually questions a decision, not aggressively, just lightly, and you explain, clarify, justify, even though no one demanded it. They nod, but they don't retreat. Because they are not challenging you. They are locating you. Every explanation gives coordinates. Every emotional reaction reveals priority. Every defensive clarification exposes pressure points. And people always map pressure points. You may not notice when it begins, but you'll feel something. Conversations require more effort. Your words carry slightly less weight. You repeat points that once stood alone and assume it's stress. It isn't. It's perception adjusting, and perception, once adjusted, rarely returns to its original position. Reputation doesn't collapse when someone criticizes you publicly. It collapses earlier. It collapses the moment someone internally decides, I understand them. Because understanding removes uncertainty. Uncertainty creates distance. Distance creates caution. Caution sustains respect. And when caution disappears, testing begins, not dramatically, but subtly, a delayed response, a boundary crossed slightly, a tone with less restraint. You may interpret it as comfort, but comfort is not always trust. Sometimes it's the absence of consequence, and absence of consequence is the beginning of erosion. There's a story no one tells about the colleague who once influenced every meeting, not because they dominated the room, but because when they spoke, people adjusted. Then slowly, they began explaining more, clarifying more, pre-defending ideas before objections appeared. They believed they were strengthening their position. What they were actually doing was revealing their internal calculations. And once those calculations became visible, others began predicting them. Once predicted, they became manageable. Once manageable, they became optional. Nothing dramatic happened. They were still respected, still included, but no longer deferred to, no longer central. And they didn't notice the shift until decisions were being shaped without them. Reputation is not about being liked. It's about being perceived as stable, controlled, and slightly unpredictable. Predictability feels safe in relationships, but in hierarchy, predictability is exposure. If people know how you'll react, they adjust to neutralize you. If they know what provokes you, they provoke selectively. If they know what you want most, they delay it. You don't lose power when someone attacks you. You lose power when someone feels safe enough to stop being careful around you. And that safety doesn't come from trust. It comes from familiarity with your patterns. So ask yourself something uncomfortable: have you been explaining more lately? Clarifying things that once needed no clarification? Defending intentions before they were questioned? Maybe nothing has shifted. Or maybe people already know how you move. And once they know how you move, they don't need to oppose you. They adjust around you. They plan differently. They speak differently. They include you differently. And the most unsettling part? You will still feel respected until you realize influence has quietly migrated elsewhere. Because once your structure is visible, you are no longer a question. You are an answer. And answers are easier to manage than questions. So ask yourself one last thing. If they can fully read you, how long before they stop adjusting to you and start adjusting around you?